Hi, Jay. It's so nice to meet you today. We're very excited to have you with us. And first of all, I would love to have you talk about a little bit about how long you've lived in York and what brought you here in the first place.
Okay. I've been here since 1990 and came to York to go to college. And ended up staying here, got a job, and said, well, we'll see how York pans out. And we've just become more and more involved in the community. And you know, your experience in York as a college student versus your experience in York as a citizen is completely different. I stayed in the college neighborhood my first semester after graduation, and within 6 weeks I was upset at the college kids. So you know, it's a transformative thing, and then you know, moving into some different areas of the city, I feel like I've just, you know, become a part of this thing called York.
Absolutely. And did you attend York College? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. And how, really, we'd love to kind of have you explain your platform and what you would contribute to City Council and why you're running this year.
Okay. My initial catalyst for wanting to run was last summer. There was a piece of legislation that was brought up that if you just say what the legislation is, you say, well, yeah, that makes sense. But if you follow it through to the logical conclusion, it was going to have some negative ramifications on the kids. The thing was the smoking ban in the parks. And, you know, if you just say, we don't want people to smoke around our kids, that makes sense. But when you really take a look at it and you see that these parents with their kids are either just not going to take their kids to the park, or they're going to be spiteful about it, or they're going to ignore the law, which is going to do one of three things. It's either going to, you know, continue the vicious cycle of kids not liking the police, or the vicious cycle of people in the city saying it's okay to break the law.
Right.
Or it's going to keep kids in the house with their smoking parents. None of those options are very good. The only other option is that parents will say, yeah, all right, we'll go to the park and we just won't smoke and we won't say anything bad about it. Chances of that happen are minimal. So I brought that up to City Council, and the smoking ban did pass. And I said, well, you know what? Because of the rationale that I gave, I'm pretty sure a couple of the members at least thought a little bit more about it. And I think it's pretty important for us to have thoughtful legislators. So that was the initial catalyst. In my work with the York City General Authority, I have experienced the city's budget process. And quite honestly, it took 2 to 3 years for me to fully understand how the different cost centers work. And City Council's job, they've got basically two jobs. One is to pass laws, and the other is to work with the mayor on the budget. Well, if you go into that process, that budget process, cold, with no experience of how this budget process works, you're going to be at a distinct disadvantage. And that's the other key part that made me say, you know what, we really need some folks on council that can understand this and will do what's in the best interest of the citizens.
Fantastic. And how does your job now relate to that and relate to what you would bring to the table?
Sure. I have about a decade's worth of financial services experience. I was with a couple of different local banks. Actually, one's the national bank, the other is the local bank. And then from there came here to Kling Bros Insurance, where we do both personal and commercial lines insurance. And you know, understanding the risk management is a big piece of it, and that is actually a big piece of the city's budget as well. I personally do not write health insurance, but I have a little bit of experience with health insurance, just seeing it in action. The health cost to the city is an enormous line item in the budget, and just the knowledge of that, and relaying that back to the administration and saying, aren't there ways that we can work on these health plans to make it a little bit more fair for the citizens?
And that's a very important topic right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what about York is important to you that you're making it a commitment for the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years? Is this where you would like to be in York?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My daughter goes to Logos Academy here in the city. Just 18 months ago, bought a house right next to Williams Park. It's, this city is home, and we have to do what we can to make sure that it's a safe home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for everything today,
My pleasure.
and best of luck to you in the race.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.